Okay, welcome back. On to mission 2. So, as you noticed from the last one, these are going to get increasingly more difficult. So, each mission is harder than the previous. That's why, again, make sure you're logged in. If you're not logged in, you're going to lose a lot of hard fought progress just because you didn't want to bother just clicking a button. So, if you're doing anything, go log in first and then move on to this mission. Okay, so mission 2 is about fossil evidence. Please make sure you watch this video about fossil evidence and why it's one of the strong pieces of evidence for evolution. Um, when you click into these, you'll notice that they're getting a lot harder, more complex. And this one specifically talks about birds evolving into dinosaurs. Really interesting, kind of the differences and variants. At this point, most people start to get really frustrated by moving this tree around. They have a hard time exactly placing these in the more specific area. And so I recommend moving around the outside of this little square, and it'll allow you to put these species in more precise spots. Because some people are like, well, I'm trying to get the ostrich to be here, but it's ending up here, and I'm having a hard time with it. Like, I can get that T Rex right next to that Archaeopteryx by going around the edge because it gives you a more precise area to place it. So if you're having a problem with that, remember, just don't try to push this thing right into the middle. Just work around the edges until it's the part of the tree, the branch that you actually want it to be. All right. So you move it around the edge. All right. And you can make this fill whatever you want. Fill it in. Let's go on to the next mission. Again, this is one of those where you're going to have to read really carefully through and make sure that you're sorting these out correctly. I know this seems redundant and repetitive, but remember what you're showing right now. You're showing the evolution of a fish into a land moving creature. Really, really important stuff. Same that you on the last one. You just showed that birds are actually just dinosaurs that sit in our trees. They're the last dinosaurs that are alive on the planet. Everything else is extinct. They're the evolved version of Tyrannosaurus rex and Allosaurus and Velociraptors, right? And then the next one's origin of whales. This is the hardest one, and it's going to require you to pay a lot of attention. Okay, so read through this one really, really slowly. Always a good hint, whatever has the most descriptions is normally the first one I like to place up there because it seems to get more and more specific. So everything's going to branch off whichever animal is the most specific. So the blue whale seems to be the winner here. Blue whales and killer whales are normally the two most popular. So I'm just going to go blue whale, killer whale, and this will allow me to add a lot down here so that it's easier to organize this off of that. Okay, so that's my big hint here. Read, go slowly so that you can find things that, because I'm trying to place the hippo with the whales, that thing just nurses underwater, that nurses underwater, nurses underwater. It's the only thing they have in common. So I know I can place nurses underwater right there. Okay. And now these guys, the hippo's the closest living relative to this ancient species. Now these transitional species are all going to fit in here. So don't forget to drag to the outside to give yourself a little bit more precision and knock this thing out. This is when it starts to get a little bit rough. It's going to get harder. So if at this point you're running into any problems, send me a quick remind. We can video chat your way through it if we need to. Okay. Let me know. But I'm pretty confident that pretty much 100% of you guys can start knocking these out really quickly. Just read, be willing to read and take the time and do it right. Okay. Believe in you, get this done.